Hi, folks. Welcome once again to Mr. H's Weekly Recap, where we try to give you a rundown of what's happening in room 1925 here at E-Town High School. First off, I guess we should start by wishing everyone a Happy New Year, a Happy 2017. We look forward to seeing what the rest of the fall and the beginning of the spring semester bring us. Another update that we'll just kind of throw out for the good of the order is next week, as we kind of kick things off. Tuesday through Friday is going to be Keystone testing, so we'll be running on a 2-hour delay schedule. The schedule for that is posted on my social media feed, as well as a remind that's going to be sent out probably sometime over the weekend, just letting students know that that's upcoming. If you do not have a Keystone, we encourage you to enjoy the extra 2 hours of sleep or makeup work during that time or something. Use it productively, and then we'll see you guys during the rest of the day when school reconvenes after testing is complete. Another reminder, which I'll probably emphasize again at the end of this recap, is next Friday, the 13th. That is my cutoff point for all of my classes, my junior and senior classes, for makeup work. So students have been reminded this consistently all this week as we've come back from the long winter break to please get work in. If you have test quizzes you need to make up, set up a time with me. If you have homework assignments, projects, things like that that you need to turn in through the classroom, please do that as well, and students know what the procedure is for getting that stuff recognized by me and in the portal so we can get some of those MIs, those missings, out of the way. Let's give you a little bit of a recap on what's happening in some of the classes. Let's start with Gov and Econ. This week has been a little bit of a wrap up to one idea and beginning of a new one. We're continuing with our constitutional law and criminal justice unit. We talked mostly this week Second Amendment, a lot of gun control debate, a little bit of Third Amendment, which there's not a whole lot to talk about there. It's kind of an amendment that's important but doesn't have a lot of case law behind it, so literally it takes no time at all. And then the other big issue we've been looking at this week is the Fourth Amendment, searching and seizing, which usually delves into a whole rabbit hole of questions and scenarios and court cases and different things like that, discussions of privacy and current issues and things like that. So we've been in the process of delving into that. Monday is kind of a wrap up to the Fourth Amendment. We'll be doing a debate. Students were presented evidence in a Supreme Court case that involved police using heat signatures and using infrared technology to search for drug houses, basically flying over a neighborhood, aiming this at houses below, and if they got a big heat signature, they would know that that's probable cause to go in and execute a search. We're asking students to kind of create some debate notes based on some of the evidence that we gave them and figure out where they stand on this. Are they in support of the police using this technology, or are they in support of more of like privacy advocates who say this is an unreasonable search? They need a warrant in order to execute those types of things. So we'll do that on Monday. And students, the main thing there is creating debate notes and being ready to argue their points when they come in. We're also doing a little bit of an in-class film festival for our student cam projects. The grades will be going out for those probably end of today over the weekend, but we want to give a chance for students to showcase their work to their peers and also answer questions. So along with the film festival, we're also doing a little bit of a Q&A with our filmmakers and giving them an opportunity to ask questions of their peers, offer feedback, in some cases, debate and discuss the issues that they're bringing up in their projects. And it's been really interesting seeing what students ask, but also what students bring up during the course of their presentations. So we'll be continuing that probably a little bit next week as well. We got a little behind on Thursday with some of our content. So we're playing a little catch up, but yesterday, today, we've been looking at that, and then we'll probably have more of it come next week as well as we start to get into the full week in that sense. For the Honors World guys, right now we're in the mad dash through Unit 4 towards the final, so a lot of more current issues. This week we discussed kind of a wrap-up to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict by debating who's at fault. In our latest round of Socratic Smackdown, is it the British? Is it the Israelis? Is it the Palestinians? Is it somebody else for keeping this conflict going for multiple decades? And so that was an interesting discussion. We've been looking at India and the independence movement there, looking at Gandhi and a little bit of the partitioning crisis that then follows. Next week we'll be getting into a little bit of Chinese history, looking a little Middle Eastern history, some modern day stuff with Russia, the anti-apartheid movement, and just kind of bringing students at least relatively close to the present, so they have a good basis for getting into our final and really having a successful time with it. Students also, after the break, turned in their semester book reviews. So students had the opportunity during the course of the semester to pick a book that dealt with a particular aspect of the course. They had a long list that they could pick from. We asked students to submit a bit of a review, an overview of the book, but also their opinions on how it related to the course and how it connected with what we were trying to show them this semester. And so not hugely far into that just yet, but very interesting thus far, and hopefully we'll get those grades back to you guys ASAP. As always, you can follow me on social media. My Twitter account is updated daily with new information and different things about what we're doing in class. You can also, if you're a parent, log on for the Google Classroom reminders. We try to get those out to you, and obviously Google does a great job of doing them on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. My preference is weekly, so you can stay on top of the workload. But feel free to email if you have questions, especially as we get towards the end of the semester. And thank you again for watching.